I messaged my guru, and it was weird because when I would message her about like meditations, times, or this or that, she would always respond. But I messaged her and I was like, hey, I saw that, somebody had posted about this being demonic, and I just want to know, like, what's the truth to that? Like, what would I say to somebody who says that? Like, what's the combating? Because obviously they're wrong, right? So, what's the answer? She never responded to me. And literally, if she would have just responded, I would have probably still been stuck in witchcraft, because I would have been like, oh yeah, good enough. But she didn't respond. So then it was like, well, if it's not demonic, why do you have to hide from the fact that it is, like, that it's not, So then I started to get a little, just, it wasn't feeling right. And I was still practicing the witchcraft, but I wasn't certain anymore. And I had people that were like, hey, I need another tarot reading. I need another tarot reading. But there was something in me that was like, I cannot do this, because what if I'm wrong? And I had never up to that point thought that I had been wrong. I really thought I found the truth. So I was like, and I kept pushing them off. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like maybe later, like, yeah, da, da, da. And I kept trying to, get answers, and it wasn't working. So I remember there was one meditation I was on, and they were teaching about how we can call on the ascended masters, or people who have completed this lifetime and made it to the next consciousness, for help. And they were saying that some of the ascended masters are Buddha and Jesus, Allah, or Muhammad, and people like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, I'll call on them. And there was, I was working on my chakras at the time, and I was working on my heart chakra. So I was like,
oh, Jesus, he's an ascended master who was really known for his compassion. So I can call on him to help me with my heart.
So I was like meditating. I was like, Jesus, if you could just come into my heart and fix it and like help me to balance the heart chakras, And I didn't know what I was praying. Jesus, like, holy, he got me there. But I was just like, but because they teach it so in your face, they're just not expecting, like, I don't know why they would teach me that. I have no idea why they would teach me to call on Jesus. Maybe they thought I never would or what, but I was like, yeah, this ascended master, I need help with my heart. I'm angry, I'm bitter, I need help balancing this chakra. After that, I couldn't even access the witchcraft like I used to. So up until that point, every trip I went on was beautiful. Some people have really bad demonic trips, nightmares that discourage them from that stuff. For me, everything was synchronicities. It was beautiful. My life at that point was moving so smoothly. I was getting like free money from like unemployment. So it was just like, it seemed like prosperity. Like everything was just like going really good. And the witchcraft just made me feel more and more powerful, more and more beautiful, more and more this and that. So it was like there was no issue at all. All the trips I went on, every spiritual encounter I had, I never encountered a demonic force that actually saw me as a threat. So they never like attacked me, because they probably thought I was silly, is what they thought. But it never bugged me, never occurred to me anything. After that point, after I called on Jesus, it started becoming torment. I remember I went on that acid trip right after that, and I summoned this spirit. I stopped eating. I was addicted at the time, and the addiction to what I was on just got worse. I completely stopped eating. I lost like 20 pounds. I was super duper sick. I didn't recognize it though. Like I was really weak in body, and every time I would do a tarot reading, there would just be too many voices, so I couldn't hear it anymore. Before it used to be like, here's your clear answer. But then it just became confusion and literally delusion. And the things that were coming up in my room, I would feel them and I would hear them, but I didn't understand what they were trying to say anymore. And my ears were always ringing. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm ascending. Like, this is good consciousness. And I remember I did one tarot reading specifically for September the 9th. Because September the 9th was supposed to be Mercury in retrograde, which is an astrological event that was basically like a resetting of things in a way. And so I did a tarot reading, and the card I got was the Tower card. And the Tower card specifically means like something's gonna come crashing down. And I was like,
well, I'm prepared, universe, take me through whatever trial you need me to get through to get to the next level.
I don't know. I have no idea why a lot of these like demonic entities, like why they would tell me certain things, especially leading up to my salvation. It didn't make sense to me. But September the 9th comes around, and I remember I was asleep. I had fallen asleep. I had like passed out. I was drunk and high, and I don't know if I had a dream or if my body felt something. I have no idea. But I woke up like in a cold sweat. I was crying, and I was in fear. Like I was in terror for my life. And I started praying. At that time I only knew like the Hail Mary and the Our Father because I grew up Catholic. So I just started praying and praying and praying, and then I like passed out again. And the next morning when I woke up, I remember walking into the bathroom and I saw myself in the mirror, but it was like the haze had been pulled off my eyes, and I saw myself for like who I was. Like there was no facade anymore. There was no, oh, this is this confident girl. This is this girl who just parties and, she's whatever, she gets whoever she wants. She does whatever she wants. She's living the rock star life. Like that was gone. I saw myself like I had seen all the weight I lost. I saw that I just looked tired and weary, that I was still depressed and broken and traumatized and hurting. And I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, what? Like, what do I even do? And I remember hearing, well, I literally asked, I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I felt Holy Spirit's presence. So I just didn't know it was him at the time. And I was like, okay, so what do I do now? And I heard him say, follow me. And that's all he said. And I was like, okay, wherever this presence was taking me was better than where I had been. So I was like, all right, fine. And out of nowhere, I don't even think I knew that I had like reached out for Jesus. I don't even know if I knew that that's who Jesus was. Like, I don't know. But immediately I had this impression like I have to go buy a Bible. I had never read a Bible in my life. Like I had read like the kids' Bibles, but I had never like gotten my own Bible and wanted to read it. But there was this desire, and it was like, go get one. So I ordered one on Amazon, and it got to my house. And then like literally like 3 days later, I was like,
oh, these tarot cards, the devil.
My eyes were open. Like I couldn't be in the same room with this stuff. So I remember I started throwing stuff out. I had tarot cards. I took my crystals and stuff, and I like threw everything out. And of course, a lot of stuff took a while for me to recognize as witchcraft, because a lot of things, a lot of what I've learned about witchcraft is just contagious. So even if you brought one witchcraft item into your house, sometimes when you're practicing witchcraft, at least, it'll spread. It's like, it's just contagious. It leeches onto everything else. So even if it wasn't something I necessarily used for witchcraft, God even had me remove it, and I started to just get convicted about the way I was living, the things I was doing. So I just began to like get rid of that stuff.